All right, I see our clock has rolled over to 9:30. I know, our special early start times. I have to remember those myself. We don't do them real often, but every once in a while I sneak up on you and throw a 9:30 start in there. Oh, look at this, guys. I'm getting trolled right off the bat. First comment in chat, I'm getting trolled that says "Go Ravens" from Raylan. Yeah, well, I have to say, we're last I saw. Okay, I have been working a little bit, so I haven't seen it straight on. But the last I saw, we were getting a beat down, just stinking up the joint. So I did come into the break fully expecting to be trolled, and I have not been disappointed. So, all right, Raylan, I'll give you that one. I'll give you the Go Ravens for now, but game's not over yet. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys, we have got a few things going on tonight. But before we get started with our regularly scheduled programming, we're going to take a look at a little information. And this is a random team break for a case of Flawless Collegiate Football that comes out on Wednesday. So I'm hoping to do this direct. We haven't had a lot of traction with it, so if I don't see some traction kind of picking up tomorrow night, we'll just leave them all on eBay as half cases. I do have some of these listed on eBay, but just as half cases. This one that I'm working on direct is for a full case. Obviously, it's random team. The ones on eBay's are by team, as you would expect. This one does have a break bonus of an autographed Saquon Barkley jersey that we'll give away to one team by way of random. $85 a spot, or if you buy 3, it goes to $225. If you buy more than 3, we would stick with that $75 per team price. And again, of course, it is the full case on this one. Like any break, no return, no refund. If you pull nothing, you get nothing. All in, shipping included, etc. Hoping to break it on release day if we get it filled up. Now this Panini Opulence basketball, we are finally full, kids. We are. We've got somebody's picked up the remaining spots. We've had people, as you know, shuffling in and out of here, people reserving spots and then not wanting them, and back and forth and back and forth. So someone's come in and said, hey, they're going to pick up all the rest of those spots. I'm just waiting for that invoice to be paid, and then we will get this Opulence break scheduled. If you are in that break, you will get an email from me the day prior. So if the invoice gets paid tonight, we'll schedule the break for either Monday or Tuesday night. If the invoice gets paid Monday, we'll schedule it probably for Tuesday night. Give everyone time. Okay, now we're moving on into our regular stuff. So here's what you need to know. Feedback. Mine is completely automated. You never have to wait on me. The one area of life you never have to wait on me, right? That is just pretty simple. As soon as you leave positive feedback for me, you should instantly get it in return. And of course, the other part of that message is to say thank you for breaking with me and bidding with me and chatting with me, even when you troll me about my Steelers playing like a high school team. That's okay. I can take it. I can live with it. Okay, we are looking right now at some upcoming breaks. These are listed on eBay. So unlike the other breaks that we looked at a moment ago that are being sold direct by way of chat and email, these are listed on eBay. So tomorrow night we'll open a half case of mini football helmets, a triple play baseball box, a case of National Treasures baseball, and a case of Bowman Chrome. On Tuesday, it will be a half case of baseball jerseys, a full case of Bowman High Tech, and another case of Bowman Chrome. Wednesday, we're going to start early again on Wednesday night. That's also going to be a 9:30 Eastern start time because it's a big release day, and we're going to open everything that comes out, and we're going to open a lot of it. So we'll open a full case of Topps Archive Signature Series Retired Players Edition. We're going to open a full case of Impeccable Basketball, a half case of Flawless Collegiate, and we're going to open what's really 2 8-box cases, but we're calling it a 16-box master case because it's 2 8-box cases like inside of a bigger box, whatever, however Panini wants to call it. So we're going to call it a master case at any rate. It's 16 boxes. It's going to have 80 hits in it. It's going to be a monster break. And I can't wait to get into that. And it's fairly high end. I mean, that master case is, I don't know, a couple grand, maybe a little over. So it's a reasonably, higher end type product as well. On Thursday, we'll open a half case of Leaf autograph jerseys, some more Flawless Collegiate, some more Impeccable Basketball, and more Topps Archive Signature. Friday night, we'll be back in Mini Helmets, Flawless Collegiate again, National Treasures Baseball again, and Bowman Chrome once again. So that's what we're looking like in the days ahead. For tonight, it looks like this. Our free shipping breaks, this is also the order that we're breaking in. We'll start out with our multi-sport jersey, then the half case of basketball jerseys, then the autographed baseball bat. After all of that, we'll open the half case of Topps Heritage High Number. So a couple of things to note. If you're in one of the free shipping breaks that I just read off and that you see on the screen there, I'm anticipating those to get out the door on or before Saturday. I usually project those to get out 6 or 7 days after an auction ends. Our paid shipping break, which is Heritage High Number, should be out the door on or before Thursday. One final thing you need to note from this page, and that is if your team is not pulled in a break. So if you're in the memorabilia break, you're not the team that gets the memorabilia. If you're in the card break, if you don't pull any cards at all for your team, you are still entitled to a consolation trading card for your team. It can be from any year, it can be from any series, and I keep track of that stuff for a rolling 90-day period. Normally it works like this. If you're on one of the free shipping breaks, I would just hold your consolation cards until the next time when you have a package going where you have pulled something. Then I would gather them all up, send them all out at one time. If you're in one of those free shipping breaks and you don't want to wait for your next package and you want them to go out immediately, all you need to do is drop me a line in eBay and I will take care of that for you. Paid shipping break, frankly, nobody's going to get skunked in Heritage High Number. There's a ton of cards in there and every team's going to pull some, so I don't think we have to worry about that. But if you were to get skunked in a break where you paid for the shipping, or if you're an international bidder and you've paid for shipping, even on a free shipping break, you would have been charged as an international bidder, then any consolation cards that you're due would go out with the rest of the break. So we're starting it out tonight with 2018 Gold Rush Hall of Fame Multisport jersey. This is break number 2. Everything we're opening tonight ended tonight, Sunday night, the 30th, the last day of September, believe it or not. Spots here, of course, were sold by the first letter of the last name. So if we were to pull, Hank Aaron, it's going to be for the A's. If we were to pull Wayne Gretzky, it would go to the G's, and so on and so forth. A new spreadsheet will go up before the start of each break, so if you're not in this one, you're going to see your name up there when we do get to your product. Last but not least, I don't use autofocus. You see the background going out of focus a little bit there. That's me monkeying around with it. Not to worry, though. We're going to be able to see everything just fine. Now let's see who's in chat besides Raylyn, who was already trolling me earlier. We already said hi to her. King Greg is here. Corey is here. Hey, Corey. And Greg is here. Jay Allen says the Steelers are playing like a high school team. I said that earlier. It is so sad. It is so sad. And, Greg says the Eagles lost today too, huh? I didn't get to see that game. I watched a good part of the Raiders and the Browns. I mean, working in between, but I got to see a fair amount of that one. I saw a little bit of the Bengals game, a tiny bit of the Colts game, and just a little bit of the Steelers-Ravens. Enough to know that my Steelers are probably going to be going home, crying tonight because they were not playing well. At least not in that first part I saw. Oh, Moses, it was bad. Okay, Richard. Hi, Richard. Long time no break, he says. I know, Richard, where you been? And Dave is here, too, and Jordan is here. Our multi-sport jersey looks like a baseball jersey, but the important part is the name, because these are sold by first letter of last name. So this goes to bidding position P. That's going to be a Jim Palmer jersey. Orioles, of course, had we been doing it by team, but again, this was sold by first letter of last name. So bidding position B, there's your Leaf authenticated hologram sticker and a Leaf authenticated credit card size deal. And this one, yeah, it is custom, so we don't have no logo man or anything on it. You've just got, you know, your Orioles written there across the front and your Jim Palmer across the back, going to the letter P. Now we're going to do a half case of basketball jerseys. And we've opened plenty of autographed basketball jerseys, but this is the first time that we've done them in a half case. So I'm kind of excited about this to see what we're going to pull out of here. If you did not see this a moment ago, please take a minute and look up there at the information on the screen. I'm not going to read it all off to you again, but there it is. Info about shipping dates and consolation cards and other stuff you kind of need to know. So if you didn't hear it earlier, check it out now, please. We are going to be starting a new case of 2018 Gold Rush Series 1 autographed basketball jerseys. Although, are these Series 1 or are these Series 2? I guess they're Series 1. I don't know. Whatever they are, they just came out. I can't remember. I thought we opened some other basketball jerseys from Gold Rush this year, but they might have been 2017 instead of 18. I don't know. Anyway, these just came out. We're opening them up right now, and they are going to be in a half case quantity, but it is the start of a new case. So you know how that works. Well, you probably do. If you've bid with me before, you know how that works. I'm going to take all 6 boxes out. I will number them on the end and then use random.org to determine for us which 3 we open tonight versus which 3 we open. This is going to shake the table. Versus which 3 we open in the next half of the break. Always try to warn you because it makes the camera move when I set, you know, cases of stuff on here. Most of the time, anyway. Okay, here come our jersey boxes out of their case. We'll get them all numbered up and let Random help us out and get into half of this case tonight. 3 of these. Get this, I gotta find a place to put some of this stuff. I always make such a mess when I'm breaking, like a terrible, terrible mess. I think it takes me as long to clean it up sometimes as it does to do the break. I just kind of flip things all over the place. Okay, let's head to Random and sort out which ones we're going to be opening up. There's our 1 through 6. We're just going to take the first 3 numbers after I hit randomize. And it gives us 1, 4, and 2. So 1, 2, and 4, what we're opening up tonight. So there's 1 and 2. And there's 4. Let me get 3, 5, and 6 out of the way. These jerseys, for these basketball jerseys from Gold Rush, are always a really short print run. So they don't usually last very long. So I ordered a couple of cases right when they came out. And that will give us, this one's number 4. So that gives us a little bit to play with anyway. King Greg Wins says, man, Antonio Brown is so good. He is so good, but did he just do something good in the game? I'm hoping that he did since since we were playing terribly the last I looked. Corey says the Lakers need some mojo in this. And he further says, please make sure that all the boxes that Random chose, you know, are Lakers. I paraphrased that a bit, but that's basically what he's hoping for here. So first out looks pretty green. I'm thinking it's a Celtic. It is Paul Pierce. There's our JSA authentication paperwork. There's our Pierce jersey and JSA authenticated sticker down there at the bottom that will match up with it. And it's a custom jersey, but there's your Celtics. First out with Mr. Paul Pierce. Some of these will be custom, guys, and some of these can be authentic. I find, honestly, as a whole, that we tend to pull more authentic basketball than we do any other sport, for whatever reason. So maybe we'll, this box is smashed up, son. Like smashed up, smashed up. The whole bottom edge of it is like, oh, and it's got, oh, and it's wet or something. There's like water in there. Oh, that's not good. What is going on here with this? This was just down there in a case. I don't really even know how and what is happening to that, but see our jersey, checking all the, I'm checking all the four corners of the jersey. Maybe it was just, I guess it was just wet on the outside because it's, the jersey's fine, so that's the part we care about, but that was super weird. That is Clyde Drexler, JSA authenticated, and there is your matching sticker, your autograph to go along with it, and once again a custom jersey, this one for the Rockets. I've never seen a jersey box come out like that, like all smashed up with kind of wet plastic wrap. That was bizarre. I wonder if they would have almost had to pack it in the case that way. So I don't know. Anyway, we're Celtic and Rockets, and thank goodness it was a jersey and not cards, right? Because that would have been unfortunate. Oh, it's 14-14 now, King Greg says. Oh, we're coming back a little bit. All right, I like that. Gina says, whoever hit the Celtics jersey with Paul Pierce, if you want to sell it, she has interest in buying it. Please jump in and let her know if you want to sell it. Ben Rudd says, asking about the Hall of Fame jersey. I see that Corey has answered that. Yeah, it was Jim Palmer. So, of course, team was the Orioles, but it's bidding position P, since those were sold by first letter of last name. Is this going to be the Mavericks? Who's this going to be? JSA authenticated once again. And, yeah. So, is this... Oh, no. It's Okafor. Oh, and it's a Duke jersey. Oh, my goodness. I actually touched a Duke jersey. Oh. Oh, man. That's going to just bring me bad karma. Oh, man. You guys know I went to school at the University of Kentucky. And, of course, our arch rivals in basketball, Duke. Oh, brother. All right, so Jahlil Okafor, this goes to the team that Jahlil is currently playing for. He was traded in the offseason. I think, isn't he the Pelicans right now? I'm going to look it up, guys, and I will tell you here in a second. So we're just going to go to the NBA.com website. That is how it works when it is a collegiate jersey and it is an active player. It goes to their current team. All right, so that's what I am trying to get to NBA.com to look up right now. I think it was New Orleans that he went to, though. It was like somewhere that I remember thinking, oh, what's he doing there? Come on now, NBA. Why won't you load for me? Because it likes to make my life difficult. That's why. iPad is not my friend all week. My iPad's been screaming at me, buy a new one. And I'm going to have to. All right, Jahlil Okafor is loading on NBA.com. And it says he is, in fact, a New Orleans Pelican. That's what I thought. I was pretty sure that's where he had been traded, and it was. So this, of course, again, was on a Duke jersey, so collegiate stuff. It goes to their current team when they're an active player. So Jahlil Okafor headed to NOLA, the New Orleans Pelicans. Let me get these put out of the way, guys, and then we'll move on down the line. Just give me a second here. All righty. Basketball jerseys. Gina says my Wildcats, Dave says that the Duke jersey has cooties. Gina, my Wildcats did do well in football this weekend. Can you guys believe? I mean, my Wildcats football off to such a good start. And traditionally, that has not been the case for Wildcats football. We've been kind of a long-suffering fan base, and finally, we're pretty good this year. I almost am afraid to say that. I need to knock on some wood, which I just did, but so far, so good. Again, you probably have seen this. If you jumped in late in the middle somewhere and you didn't see it, please take a minute and review the information that you see there on the screen. It does talk about anticipated shipping dates and information you can find about consolation cards if your team is not the team pulled in one of these breaks tonight. We are next into 2018 Hit Parade Series 20 Autograph Baseball Bat, break number 7. And of course, it also ended tonight on eBay Sunday night, the 30th. We've got our team names on the left. Your name in lights if you're the winning bidder is across from your team on the right-hand side. The baseball bats are always fun, but they're really challenging to open without cutting my hand off, I should say. So here's our bat. You can see there's Series 20. There's our first end, all nice and sealed up with security tape. There's your second end, all nice and sealed up with security tape. Now, I'm going to try to just lay it down here and slice it off of there with hopefully no loss of limb or bloodshed. But we'll see. Somebody gave me a good suggestion, and I keep forgetting to do it, is that I should keep pliers up here to help with this sort of thing once you get the tape cut, getting the little top off. And that is a good suggestion, but I haven't managed to do it yet. I keep forgetting. Okay. Well, it's a Jim Palmer kind of night, isn't it, kids? Tells us on the lid who it's going to be, which I like. We don't have to guess who the signature is. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff down it. Oh, there's the COA just flying out onto the table. I'll pick that back up in a second. It came. Usually these are in a plastic bag in there. Clearly, this one is not. But there is your Jim Palmer baseball bat, autographed, of course, with a Dave and Adams authentication. And somewhere on here, we should have a Dave and Adams sticker. It's on the bat knob. There it is. So there's your authentication sticker that matches up with your card. And, of course, Jim Palmer, a Baltimore Oriole. All right, there's our baseball bat for tonight. Corey says that he heard a Bowman Chrome 1/1 Superfractor autographed Ohtani was hit. Really, I had not heard that, so I don't know if that's the case or not. I do remember in regular Bowman, somebody came into a break one night and said, oh, the Superfractor was hit, the Superfractor was hit. But it turns out it wasn't an autographed version, but you specifically said autograph, so maybe it has been. I don't know. But I also know out of that regular Bowman that we pulled that nice kanji autograph, the one that was signed in Japanese. The only one that was signed in Japanese, the one you saw in the marketing materials. And it was numbered to 150, but guess what? It outsold money-wise every card in there other than the 1/1 Superfractor autograph. So, yeah, man, you can still make money. We are going to be moving into Heritage High Number, it looks like. So let's get that set up. This is the back half of the case. So we already started this case of Heritage, I think, last weekend, actually, maybe. So, of course, Heritage is our paid shipping break, and I'm anticipating a shipping date on or before Thursday. And I'm tracking reasonably well right now, and I worked a lot over the weekend, so I'm feeling like it might be before Thursday, but don't absolutely hold me to that, because you never know when life might rear its ugly head and throw something unexpected at me. So it's going to be 6 boxes of 2018 Heritage High Number. It's a half case break, break number 4, as I said, back half of the case. And, of course, also ended tonight. We did have a couple of teams in here that were unsold. That would be the Royals and the Padres. You'll see those are noted there as no bids buyback. So anything that comes out for the Royals or the Padres just stays here with me and joins that gigantic mountain of cards that has taken over my life. Which eventually, one day, maybe when I'm 90 and retired and have nothing else that I need to do, I will sort that giant mountain of cards. But until then, I just have to hope it doesn't come crashing down in an avalanche and kill us all. So we will be adding 2 more teams. It's kind of like, you know how you stack cards into like a tower, and at some point you just add 1 too many and the whole thing collapses. That's what's going to happen. Like, I'm going to somehow just put the Orioles and the Padres on that giant pile from tonight, and then they're just going to just crash over. I need flood insurance for baseball cards. My house has been flooded with cards. Ben Rudd, you said Parker sniped the Nationals from you, huh? Raylan is telling me it's 14-14 at halftime. Oh, you're not feeling so much like trolling right now, huh, Raylan? Because it's tied up. So, yeah, all right. I see. I can still read the tone, even though it's in chat. Little of that confidence has eroded, hasn't it, here by halftime? So, Heritage High Number, guys, we're going to have in each box let me feel where the card is, a box topper, and it's either going to be a buyback card, which is what this one is, or a strip of uncut cards. Still didn't get through it. On the buyback cards, they are actually the original cards from 1969, so they're going to have soft corners and sometimes creases, and they're well loved and well worn, and they're miscut and off center and crazy. But they're kind of fun because they really are from 1969 and just stamped with the 50th anniversary Topps logo so that people know that they were, buybacks. So those, of course, will fall 1 per box with our box topper. And now our Heritage High Number. It's a lot of base in here. We will probably find some variations as we go along the way. If I catch them, I'll point them out. Occasionally there will be one that I don't find until sorting, but I do my best to catch them as we go through live. If you see one live that I haven't called out, feel free to jump into chat and I will absolutely announce it. I'm not by any means gonna attempt to say that I'm perfect, so I can certainly miss some. And if you see it, just let me know. And what else? We're looking for 1 hit per box, and our hit can be either an autograph or a relic. And I think that's it. We've got Heritage High Number, not Heritage High Number. We've got Heritage Minor League that came out on Friday, and with everything else that's been coming out, I forgot about it. So I don't even have it listed. So we'll probably break Heritage Minor League next weekend, and we'll probably break it as a whole case. And we may also do it without base card shipping in that break. It might be only hits and variations, but I don't know. We'll decide more about that. David says you're not allowed anything sharp after the incident. That's funny. Corey, you didn't hit anything tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. I hate to hear that, but you said you have been doing very well in Heritage High Number as a whole. Well, that is good then. Sometimes you have to make up some ground when you don't do as well. And the memorabilia breaks can be a little more challenging just because, there's only the 1 hit in each box. So even when we do a half case, there's still a finite number of hits. Of course, obviously, when you do card breaks, you've got a lot more chances with parallels and variations and things. That is the Brewers. It's Lorenzo Cain, and it is an action image variation, or action image short print if you prefer that vernacular. Yaval is here. Hi, Yaval. You've got a bunch of teams in here tonight. Yes, good luck to you as well. The baseball bat, Chris, was Jim Palmer for the Orioles. We're going to find a lot of these inserts, various awards on them. This one was the National League MVP award winner. Note, he is a Marlin on this card, so it will go to the Marlins. Of course, if it had If he had been noted as the Phillies on there, that would have gone to the Phillies. But given that he was not, it's going to the Marlins. I want to go back. Hang on a second. I want to go back and look at one of those. No, it wasn't. I thought it was maybe a high number short print, but it was not. We'll find a lot of these now and then inserts as well. The majority of those are not going to be numbered, but they're in there. We went past a Juan Soto base rookie a moment ago. Of course, that's the autograph we would really like to find in here. Dave said that the Topps gods, quote unquote, do not favor Seattle, huh? You know where we've been pulling Mariners? Well, it depends on whether or not you like prospecting, I guess. But we've been pulling Evan White a lot out of Bowman High Tech for the Mariners. So I personally like Evan White, so I think that's a good hit. I don't know how you feel about Evan White, but that would be, if you're just a Mariners fan in general and you like prospecting, we've had pretty good luck in High Tech pulling him. Our relic is going to be the hit out of box number 1 here, and it happens to be a numbered one, and it's for the Oakland A's. It's numbered to 99 with Franklin Barreto Clubhouse Collection relic. First out. Oh, King Greg, thank you for answering that question as well. He jumped in and answered the question in chat that the person had about the bat. Probably answered it before I even saw the question. You guys are good about helping me out with that, and I appreciate it. Charlie Blackman, we'll find a bunch of these black and white cards with the scalloped edges. And I imagine everyone knows this, but just in case you didn't, those are facsimile signatures. Those are not actual hard-signed autographs. They're just, that is the autograph printed on there. So that's the deal with that. I do have a little bit more Heritage High number. I'm not sure. We may work it in next weekend again. There's just so much stuff out right now. It's hard to find time to break it all. And I still haven't worked my way into the Upper Deck Goodwin Champions. So either Saturday or Sunday, one of those 2 days, we're going to do a full master case of that Upper Deck Goodwin Champions. It's going to be a player break to a certain extent, like all their exclusive athletes will do as player break. And then there's a bunch of other categories in there too, kind of like you get with Allen and Ginter. And so we'll also list those categories with their own bidding spots. So one day next week we'll be doing that. Next weekend, I mean. The other day of next weekend, well, I don't know. I started to say we'd do Heritage High, but we might need to do Heritage Minor League. So, I don't know. Sometime in the next 10 days, we'll get Heritage High number worked back in. Hopefully. I don't know exactly when it's going to be, but soon. Because we've still got a lot of Bowman left to break, among other things. And man, this is the time of year where they start pouring it on us, too. Every week they start putting out, is that a, no it isn't. They start putting out, 3, 4, 5 products at a time every week, almost, from now through the end of the year. Topps and Panini both really like to lay it out there from October to December. Oh yeah, I forgot we had Miracle Mets inserts in here. So there's a whole little series of those, and we should find a decent number of them as we go through this half case. But I'm trying to think when Triple Threads comes out, because I really thought Triple Threads got moved, of course. You know that they moved the date. It should have already been like back at the first of this month, and they pushed everything from early September into late September and early October. But we've got to be coming up on Triple Threads pretty soon for baseball. So we'll have a lot left to do even by the time we get to that point. Rookie performers, that one is Rhys Hoskins. That's another one we'll find lots of. That's just a Shohei base rookie. Reggie Jackson highlights, of course, 1969 was his rookie year, so we'll find a handful of these, and there'll be some for each team that he played for. So this one is, of course, the A's uniform, so it will go to the A's. He is also in here on some as an Angel and some as a Yankee. I don't know why I keep looking at some of those thinking they're going to be the high number short print, and then they aren't. I think because it's been too long since I opened them last, and now I've got to stop and think what looks like what again. Ooh, I see a little black border coming up. There's a rookie performer, Shohei Ohtani. And it is a chrome black border J.D. Martinez. And that is numbered to 69. So here's the deal with the black border variations. The chrome ones, of course, as you just saw, those are numbered. If we find a paper black border, it is not numbered. However, Topps always releases the print runs on those sort of things. And they released that one as being 50 copies. So if you have a black border paper, it's going to be no more than 50 on the print run. There are also some that can have 100th anniversary stamps on them. They are limited to a print run of 25. There's flip stock. Those are limited to a print run of 5. And what am I forgetting? Magenta back, I think, are limited to 10. So again, more inserts. That one, Phenomenal Phillies. They have, you know, one that's, they have one of those for the Angels. I think there might be one for the Cubs. I don't remember what each of them are called, but they're just, again, base, kind of basic inserts for the various teams. So now that gives you kind of an idea of what we're looking for and what we're going to find in each box, I won't specifically call out those inserts as we go through for the rest of the break unless someone wants me to. So if you want me to call them out, I will, but in the absence of a specific request to do so, we'll just kind of buzz right on through them and stop on, you know, our short prints. And not so much with our inserts, since we've probably got a pretty good handle at this point as to what they are, what they look like, and that kind of thing. Come on out of there, friend. That one is the Giants. Original 1969 buyback card. So yeah, that means next year, Heritage, we're going to be starting on the 70s. Some of the baseball designs, baseball card designs of the 70s were cool, and some of them were really ugly. So I'm not sure how much I'm looking forward to going through the 70s. Something like mid-70s had some cool ones, but the early 70s, well, I don't know. I guess some of them were okay. I don't know. A few of them, maybe it's more later 70s, are kind of like, whew. I'm not sure we need to see that design again. But nonetheless, we will, so that's how it goes. Juan Soto is going to be in triple threads, by the way, for anybody who might not know that. And I keep meaning every night to go back and read that list that Topps sent out where they said he's in this, this, and this out of the next few products, so that I can tell you, and I keep forgetting to do it, but I do know for sure that triple threads was one. Brewers and Christian Yelich. That is an action image variation short print. He was in the hunt for the Triple Crown. Does anybody know how he finished up today? I think the only place he was behind was RBIs, and he was a couple of RBIs behind Javi Baez, I think. So does anybody have a clue whether or not Yelich ended up with the Triple Crown or not? Of course, I think he might have, I think he was ahead in every other category, but somebody else could have still caught up, I guess, on home runs or something else if they had a really good day and he had a really bad day. But the one that I was thinking that was going to be the challenge was going to be the RBI. So whoops, set that one aside. I generally just try to set the inserts off to the side. If you wonder why they're stacked, you know, not stacked over there, I just usually set the inserts in a different spot so that if we need to go back and reference them or someone has a question about one of them, I can more easily find it as opposed to having to look through every card again. Yeah, so nobody's typing anything in there, so you must not know if Yelich did anything. I would say if he did, probably we would have all heard, so maybe he didn't. I actually don't think I've had, well, I've had football on all day, but I don't think anybody talked about baseball at all today, so, which is not unusual, I guess, being that it's a football broadcast. But sometimes if something big happens, you know. Andrew Benintendi Relic for the Red Sox is our hit out of this box. Oh, so Martin, you're saying Yelich hasn't hit it yet, but he's got another game. Why did I think today wrapped it up? So he's got another game yet to go. Okay. Well, then maybe he'll get there. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if he did, I think. I don't know if anyone watched the football games today, but man, Tyler Eifert in that Bengals game. Oh, I mean, he messed up his leg badly, like facing the wrong way on his body kind of badly. And poor Tyler Eifert, man, I mean, you know what? He's had such a hard time. He's great. He's a great tight end, but he's had so many injuries they can't really keep him on the field too much. And this year he'd gone into training camp healthy. He'd been healthy so far in the season, was putting up good numbers, really looking like it was going to be his year. Like an awkward step as he was getting tackled and just destroyed his leg. It was awful. Awful, awful. You hate to see injuries like that happen. And that was bad. Haven't heard a report on him though, so I don't think there's any way that you don't have a bunch of surgery on that injury, but I haven't heard anybody report back with anything one way or the other. Shohei Ohtani Rookie Performers insert. Oh, we've got a division game tomorrow, Brewers and Cubs. Okay. See, this is what happens to me when I switch my gear into football season, isn't it? I'm losing track. We got a game 163 tomorrow then. Brewers and Cubbies. Brewers have been a little, I wouldn't have said the Brewers were going to be as good as they've been at the first of the year. I've been a little surprised by them. That is a high number short print for the Red Sox with J.D. Martinez. That's, technically a short print, but yet we'll find quite a few of them. This is a chrome refractor for Todd Frazier and the Mets. It is numbered to 569. Ahmed Rosario for the Mets on Rookie Performers. That is Trey Mancini and the Orioles. You know, if you're an Orioles fan, you probably are just glad that the year is over. That's kind of how I feel as a Reds fan, too. I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of glad the regular season's done. Because at least we, you know, couldn't, at least I think we just ran out of calendar before we hit a 100-loss season with my Reds, but only by the skin of our teeth. So as a Reds fan, it's time for our annual declaration of we'll be better next year. Yeah, we'll be better next year. Maybe we will be. I don't know. I feel like I've been saying that since the 70s. But, of course, we have little good win streaks here and there and then go back down into the dumpster fire again. But, oh, well, part of being a Reds fan. You just come to expect it. Yaval, you're looking forward to those tie-break games for the division titles. Yeah, I mean, it's always good to get some extra games, right? Get everybody all geared up for the postseason. So who's your World Series prediction? Toby's here. Hey, Toby. The basketball break, it was Jahlil Okafor on a Duke jersey, collegiate jersey, so it went to the Pelicans, his current team. Oh, brother. Clyde Drexler and the Rockets, and Paul Pierce for the Celtics. I really had to think about that. That's bad. We just opened that a little while ago, and I couldn't even pull it out of my head. That's terrible. Pirates, Rays, and White Sox. Here's the way this will work as our box loader. Of course, you see here is one of our strips of cards. So it's going to work kind of like this. If you own 2 of the 3 teams, then that would be 51% or more. You would take that just outright. If there is no one that owns 2 of the 3, then we'll use random.org to award that along with any others that we find like it at the end of the break. Toby, who do you have in there? I don't remember who you had in the basketball jersey break. Oh, King Greg wins. You already got it all typed in there. You probably had it typed in while I was still saying it. You are helping me out. Thank you, King Greg. You know, a lot of times I do have trouble remembering this stuff even shortly after we open it because, well, frankly, I look at a lot of stuff. Between what we break every night and then what I ship every day, I have a lot of different things in my hands on any given day, and I have a tendency to remember them just about long enough to call them out, and then I just flush them right out of my short-term memory most of the time, unless it's a big hit. You know, I remember the big hits more. But yeah, I have to stop and really think. As you saw there, I have to really kind of work my way back through it to figure out who the memorabilia hits are once we've moved into something else. Then this is the last break tonight. Heritage High Numbers, the only thing we have left to open tonight. Of course, we started at 9:30, half hour earlier than normal. We're also going to start at, no, that's regular too. We're also going to be starting at 9:30 on Wednesday, for those of you who might not remember that. It's a big new release day. That is a high number short print for the Mariners with Ichiro. And if you happen to be in the Opulence basketball break, that is going to be scheduled pretty soon. So watch your email. I'll be sending out an email to anybody in that direct break for Opulence basketball. We're going to break it either tomorrow night, Tuesday night, probably something like that. For the Cubbies, it is Victor Caratini. That is the black border paper. So once again, even though that isn't numbered, Topps has an announced print run of only 50 for that. So you know that that is that there are no more than 50 of those. Nice little Gleyber Torres insert there. Oh, Toby, you had the Knicks and the Thunder. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. We hit the Thunder last night in triple play, but... or three-peat, rather, is what they call it in basketball. We hit the Thunder in there last night, but not tonight in these. That is an action image variation for JT Martinez and the Red Sox. Jose Altuve. Wait. Something I think was stuck to the back of one of those. Or maybe it wasn't, but I thought that it was. And we have a relic for the Braves. It's Ozzie. Ozzie, one of the excellent rookies for the Braves this year. With a little Clubhouse Collection relic. Headed your way if you have Atlanta. I guess, Toby, the good news is that it wasn't a Steeler. That's the good news, right? And the multi-sport jersey wasn't a Steeler either. It was a Baltimore Oriole, but of course it was went by first letter of last name. And it was Jim Palmer, so it went to the P's. And then we opened the autographed baseball bat, and by golly, that was Jim Palmer too. Isn't that crazy? He must have recently had a session where he signed stuff, because all of a sudden we've pulled, in the last probably, 2 months? I'd say we've pulled maybe 3 or 4 different Jim Palmer autograph things after having gone a long stretch without pulling any. So I feel like that he probably recently had a session somewhere. But of course, you know, the same thing I tell you guys every year. When it comes time for the national show, you should always look on the TriStar website and see, like, who they list as signing at that show. Because invariably, you'll find those people, at least I think we do, find those people who sign at the big card shows in the next release of products of autographed, whatever it is, helmets, jerseys, whatever. It seems like we find them in higher quantities if they have been a signer at one of the big card shows, like the National. So that's always kind of been my theory. I guess we'll see if that holds true as we get later into the year, but I kind of think it is. So I'm assuming we're probably still at halftime. That's another high number short print. Probably still at halftime of Steelers and Ravens. Maybe out by now. But of course, anybody who's watching that, if you feel inclined to keep me updated on the score, I would not be sad about that. Well, I might be sad if we are getting thumped and we're losing by 100 or something. Which some of you are thinking, oh, you can't lose by 100. But has anybody looked at the scores today? Man, I mean, the Browns and the Raiders tied at 42 apiece headed into overtime. I mean, obviously the Raiders ended up winning, but a nice Juan Soto chrome variation to 999 for the Nationals. But you know, I have been saying this all year, or all season so far. It's just like no one's playing on the defensive side of the ball. All of these football games have just been shootouts with these ridiculously high scores, which, I don't know, seems a little strange to me. Still tied. Okay, thank you, Martin and King Greg. Oh, and Martin, I forgot. You said a while ago you think the Red Sox or the A's are going to win the World Series. Now, see, the A's are another example. Like, would you have ever, at the start of the season, when you're thinking about the World Series, have ever even thought about mentioning the Oakland A's, because I would not have. I'll tell you that straight up. Josh Donaldson. I mean, heck, I was surprised when they were buying instead of selling at the trade deadline. I mean, I was like, hey, wait, what? The A's are buying this year? You know, I still wasn't quite like on board with the A's might be good train. That is Banda. It is a high number short print for the Rays. But indeed, they have turned out to be good. Well, you're right about that, though, Martin. I mean, there is a lot of it with the new rules to protect the quarterback in particular. I mean, there are certainly fewer sacks and plays on the quarterback because, well, all you have to do is look at the Packers and see what happens there. I mean, poor Clay Matthews whistled for, like, he can basically just look at a quarterback and they're going to whistle him and, you know, give him a roughing the passer, it seems like. So I think you're right. I think that does have a lot to do with it. And then, of course, we've also got the whole leading with the helmet rule, which is a good rule to have. I just think it should be approached kind of like college ball does it with the targeting. I think the way that college football calls that is fine, and it hasn't really led to these kind of strange tackling situations. I don't know, the NFL, who was it that came out the other day and said the NFL's gone soft? It was one of the players. I can't think who it was, but he was complaining that they've gone soft, and they're not entirely wrong. Angels and Clyde Wright, 50th anniversary. Obviously, buyback card. Very well loved. Lots of rounded corners and imperfections and miscut and all kinds of craziness going on there. Yeah, I feel bad for Clay Matthews too, man. I mean, I looked at those hits, and I mean, I think we all probably have looked at those hits. If you didn't see them live, you've certainly seen them in the replay by now. And you know, it just looks like a textbook tackle. It doesn't really look like there's anything he did wrong. And I understand why they have the rule, you know, about the full body weight and etc. But that week one where they said he was driving him into the ground, I didn't really see it that way. But I'll give you maybe he landed with the body weight. But week two, I really did not think he deserved that second penalty, but got it anyway. I know they're trying to make it safer and all that, but it is fundamentally changing the way the game is played. Which I guess, I mean, it is fun to watch touchdowns and things like that, but at the same time, I don't know that I want it to just be a total shootout every week. But, oh well. They'll sort it out. Of course, baseball's got its own challenges, and they're trying to figure out how to speed the game up and how to make their product more watchable. And, I mean, every sport, I guess, has its challenges that it tries to deal with. But I'm kind of against most of the stuff they want to do in baseball. I mean, I agree it does have kind of slow pace at times, but it's always been that way. I mean, that's just baseball. That's just how it works. I don't know that instituting a pitch clock and all that other stuff really makes that much of a difference. And, of course, then they're talking about, oh, we might get rid of the infield shift, and we might get rid of this, we might get rid of that. Okay, well, whatever. You gotta save, what, like 60 seconds or something. There's a nice variation. That's color swap. You'll see there the Rockies is in white instead of in yellow. Well, Can I get the sleeve open? Yes, I can. It just took me a couple of tries to get Wade Davis in there. Justin Verlander insert. I mean, frankly, I think the biggest problem in baseball, this is just my own personal feeling, and I know I'm going to get like a big bunch of chorus of I don't know what coming at me here in a minute when I say this. But to me, I'm old school. You know what? I love a home run as much as anybody else. That's Rookie Performers, Devers. But I do not like all the strikeouts that come with it. So it's very much a boom or bust in these days of metrics. And all about launch angle and velocity. And basically, nobody cares if you strike out 3 times in a game as long as the 4th time you hit a home run. Or whatever the case may be. But I really, you know, I'm old school, all right? I am from another era of baseball where it was embarrassing if you struck out. Like, it was not a thing you wanted to do. But these days, no, doesn't matter. As long as you get X number of home runs along the way, they don't care how many times you strike out because you still bring good value to the table. But for me, that's the part that I dislike about the current state of baseball. I don't like the high strikeout rate. The other thing I'm not wild about, but this has been this way for years and years, we just don't have complete games anymore. I mean, pitchers these days, they're pulled so quickly. And we go to the bullpen like immediately, and we're changing out whether it's a left-handed batter or right-handed batter, and we're seeing, 6 pitchers in one game. Like, okay, I'm not so big on that either. So again, I know I'm old school. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with those opinions, but I miss the days of the pitchers who, actually threw complete games and where we didn't have more strikeouts than hits and that sort of thing. So yeah, Martin, I agree. It's not really the pace of play that bothers me. That's why I said I don't think any of the changes they're talking about instituting that maybe saves a minute or two here and there. It doesn't make any difference in that regard, really, to me. Thought that was, and I got one right. That is a high number short print. It's Alex Cobb and the Orioles. So I don't really care if it takes a while to play it. I just think that, again, the high number of strikeouts and the constant going to the bullpen are the things that are less interesting to me. And yes, you are right. Stanton's strikeout rate and Aaron Judge's and any of those guys that hit a massive amount of home runs also have a massive amount of strikeouts. And this is the first year in, I can't even remember when they said the statistic was that we had more strikeouts than hits in a season. Yonder Alonso, that is a high number short print for the Indians. But I don't know. Eventually they'll settle in on it, but all the metrics definitely change the game. Think Moneyball. But I guess it's just part of it. I mean, it's true for every sport. Every sport has changed tremendously from the way it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Red Sox, J.D. Martinez, refractor numbered to 900, and, not refractor, sorry, just chrome, numbered to 999. I'm in the habit of saying refractor because we've broken so much Bowman chrome, but that one wasn't. Joe Mauer. We have a lot of Bowman chrome left to go, though. I've got... There! Finally, we've got an autograph. I don't know, we've probably got 9, 10 cases of regular, and then we've got some HTA. It's for the Diamondbacks. It's Anthony Banda. At last, something that's not a relic. We have an autograph hit. Yay. Yay, Diamondbacks with Anthony Banda. Yuval said, oh, it's the first time ever that we have more strikeouts than hits. I knew we had more strikeouts than hits, but for some reason I thought there was another season where it was really statistically very close way back, but I guess that is incorrect. But, yeah, crazy. Martin, you're right. Mike Trout is a little more old school in that regard. When you look at his number of strikeouts versus his number of home runs, he does definitely play a little bit more old school. It's probably why everybody likes him. It's why I like him anyway. Randy Hundley for the Cubs. Another well-loved buyback card with our anniversary stamp to update it. This is the start of box number 5 of our 6 boxes that we're opening tonight. Do you guys like starting earlier on Sunday nights? I mean, given that it's, you know, the next day everybody's got to go to work or school or whatever your case may be. Do you prefer starting at 9:30 on Sundays instead of 10? I'm kind of thinking about doing that at least through the winter and the fall and the winter, and then maybe when we get back into late spring and summer, switching back to 10 and that kind of thing. I don't know, haven't decided really, but considering it. I know I do have a couple of people who have told me it's easier for them because they have to get up and get their kids to school and all that sort of thing. Ah, you're a huge Angels fan. You are right. Mike Trout cards are very expensive. But sometimes they show up in unexpected places. Like we pulled him out of Heritage High Number last year. Martin and I pulled a Mike Trout red ink signature out of Heritage High Number. So sometimes they show up in weird places. At least I think it was here. It could have been in Archives, but I think it was out of Heritage High. Because I remember at the time we pulled it, I was like, oh my gosh, because the Angels had sold for, next to nothing. Because it was obviously pre-Ohtani. And so, it was like an amazing hit for next to nothing. So the odds are certainly probably not in your favor that a Mike Trout's going to come out of Archives or High Number or whatever. But he is often in there. You just have to get lucky on that one night. But those, of course, are some of the more affordable breaks. You can find him, at least have a shot at it in some of those. Yankees High Number short print, Neil Walker. Windy City Wonders for the Cubbies on that insert. Oh, the Ravens have gone back ahead, 17-14, huh? Another Todd Frazier, that's to $9.99 chrome. I want to look at the back of that Kutch. Yeah, he is short print. Like, I don't remember seeing Kutch go through here too much as a Giant. So he's High Number short print for San Fran. Acuna, Rookie Performers. Yes, Ohtani, you are quite right, Martin. That is what has been driving the price of your Angels for the year. Absolutely. And then, of course, in Bowman, you're looking not just at Ohtani, but you've got Joe Adell. So, you know, you're no better in Bowman as far as being able to pick it up at a reasonable price. Because Adele's pretty exciting prospect for you, for the Angels. And then, of course, the fact that, as you say, Ohtani's in there, too. Gives you the double whammy in Bowman as well. Yep, that is another high number short print. That one's for the Braves. Vizcano. Some of those I recognize when they go through. Some of them I find when I'm sorting. But I think usually, maybe not every single time, but I think usually I find the majority of those. It helps, though, when I open them closer together. You know, when I do like a week in between, like I did this time, then it's harder for me to remember to catch them as they go through. Chris, you are asking about the basketball jerseys. There was a Jahlil Okafor jersey that was a collegiate signed jersey, so it went to the current team, which of course is the Pelicans. So Jahlil Okafor went to the Pelicans on a signed Duke jersey. Clyde Drexler was the Rockets, and the Celtics hit with Paul Pierce. That should be action image variation, and it is. Yeah, Yaval, I hope we have a couple more autographs. I do believe you are correct in that if I'm remembering correctly, I think we were all relics out of the first half of the case. I think. We could have had an autograph in there, but I don't necessarily remember having an autograph in there. Of course, every once in a while, I mean, I've opened cases of this before where there's only been like one autograph in the whole case and everything else has been relics. But typically, you find a couple, so I would hope that maybe we'll find one more. And there is one more. Speaking of, it is J.D. Davis and the Astros. So now we've got at least two. We don't know what's going to be in that box quite yet. Chris, I don't know who had the Pelicans in this break, in that break for the jerseys. I can announce it in here. So whoever had the Pelicans, if you're watching the replay of this, someone is interested in buying the Jahlil Okafor jersey, and you can always, contact me if you have the Pelicans and you pulled that jersey and you want to sell it, and I could try to pass along the information. But as a whole, I don't really get too involved with that sort of stuff. That again is that high number short print. I generally leave that to be between everybody outside of me. So in other words, I would ship it to the original bidder who won it, and then if they want to sell it or trade it onward, then I'm happy to help you guys share information. But beyond that, I don't insert myself too much in that. That is a Matt Kemp color swap variation for the Dodgers. And that's just mainly because shipping it to a third party, you just never know what's going to happen, right? I mean, what if the third party says, they didn't get it, or it's this, or it's that, or it's the other, and then, I just don't think that, I don't like to do the third party stuff where I ship it to the third party, in other words. But if I can otherwise facilitate it, I will be happy to help. What teams did you have, Chris, in the basketball jersey break tonight? Since you said trade, I'm wondering if maybe you hit one yourself. And you're really literally thinking trade versus, buying it or whatever. another strip of cards, and on it we have Dodgers, Cubs, and Cubs. So that one we know offhand is going to go to the Cubs because they have 2 of the 3 positions on the card, which means they definitely own 51% or more. So that one won't have to go to random, just the one will end up going to random. So we are now in box number 6 of our half case. So this is our final box for the evening. So we have to do a little last box mojo here and try to conjure ourselves up a good hit. Get something big out of here, maybe. Hopefully. That would be nice if we could. And of course, we're going to be opening more National Treasures Baseball tomorrow night. So anybody who happens to be into NT, I love National Treasures anything. I'll tell you straight up. Because we get a lot of good relics in it. And for the most part, I like National Treasures maybe even a little bit better than Flawless. I know you're not supposed to think that way, but I kind of do. I like Flawless too, mind you. And obviously it is the highest of the high end of all the Panini stuff. Flawless is right up there at the top of the pyramid for them. But I really like National Treasures. There's Alonso again on that high number short print. And Christian Villanueva for the Padres. That is Stanton and Judge, Slam Central Station. I don't remember seeing that one before. I'm sure I did, as much of this as we've looked at, but I just don't remember seeing it before. Is that Action Image? Yeah, it is. With Bartolo. And it is like SSP, I think. I'm pretty sure that this is SSP, not just SP. For Bartolo and the Rangers, Texas Rangers. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Closing in on it. Ahmed Rosario. Wait. That's our signature. I was like, I almost didn't see it. It just blended right in with the card. Man alive. It is for the Braves, and it is our red signature numbered to 69, of course, and it is Max Fried. So the Braves do hit the autograph out of the last box, but you probably wanted Acuna on there. But we got you a nice little red ink Max Fried to 69. And where he signed it on the card, like I just about didn't even see it. It's just blended right in. I imagine you guys would have caught it, though. Somebody surely would have caught it and been like, hey, but I did see it, but not right away. And of course, we're going to recap when we get to the end. And we've also got that one strip of 3 cards that will go to random. So we've got a couple of things yet to do after we look through these last few packs here. That's going to be to $9.99 Rockies Chrome Wade Davis. And Jordan Hicks as a rookie performer. There's an action image variation, Matt Kemp and the Dodgers. There's a Reggie Jackson as a Yankee. Most of our Jacksons that have come out tonight were for the A's. I don't know if we had any. I don't know if I saw any go through for the Angels or not. I think that again is our, that high number, yeah, high number short print. Another Miracle Mets. Insert for Sterling Marte and the Pirates. All right, we have got 4 packs left to see if maybe we've got any other short prints or anything like that hiding out in here. Making sure that didn't, yeah. I thought for a minute maybe I had a flip stock, but then when I felt it again, I didn't. I think I was just feeling the back of the other one flying through there. And I'm just going to go through it one more time just to make sure. I just want to feel them from the other side just to make sure that I don't have one. No, I don't. All right. False alarm. I mean, those are pretty rare to hit, but nonetheless, I wanted to make sure. Full case, Martin, on NT. It will be a full case of it. I usually do full cases of most things. The times when I don't do full cases are usually stuff like this, where there's a whole lot of base cards, because I ship all the cards. So to do a full case of this, although it would be a long break in one setting, I could certainly do it from a time perspective. That wouldn't bother me. But then the sorting and shipping becomes really not fun when you ship all the cards. But, like, when we do something, for instance, like I was talking about Heritage High Number, I think, or not Heritage High Number, why do I keep saying that? Heritage Minor League. I think we may just ship the hits and the inserts and not the base cards. And if I do that, then I'll break it as a whole case. If I do Heritage Minor League where all the cards ship, then I would probably break it only as a half case. So most of the time, like if it's something that doesn't have a lot of base cards, most of the time it's going to break as a full case. The one exception to that is Flawless, and I don't often break Flawless as a full case just because of the dollar amount involved. Sometimes you just catch one of those on a wrong night and you can cost yourself several $100s. So I usually do Flawless as a half, but most everything else that doesn't have a lot of base like NT will be full cases. So it will be. Ooh, it's 20-14 Ravens now. We're getting smoked. My goodness mercy. my Steelers are getting crushed. It's a good thing I'm not watching that game. I'd be screaming and yelling. Okay, so this box topper is going to go to the Cubs by default. They have 2 of the 3 positions on the card. And on this card, however, we have 3 different teams, Pirates, Rays, and White Sox. If the same person owns 2 of the 3 teams, then they're going to take it outright by owning 51% or more. And if no one owns 2 of the 3, then we're going to use random.org to award that card. So let's go check it out. The Pirates right there, Jorboy, and the Rays. Where are my Tampa Bay Rays? King Greg has my Tampa Bay Rays. And then the Chicago White Sox, boys, but a different boys, right? Yeah. Bowls. I said boys. Bowls, Jack. So different team owners is, I guess, the moral of the story. So guys, it works like this when we go to random. I will enter the card as the teams appear, left to right or top to bottom, depending on how they're oriented. This is left to right, so it's going in as Pirates, then the Rays, then the White Sox. I will hit random 3 different times. The first 2 times do not count. It is only the third and final random that will determine where the card goes. All right, so we are Pirates, followed by Rays, followed by White Sox. Good luck to those 3 teams. Here we go. You can ignore this first one. Ignore the second one. Here's our third and final. There you'll see 3 times our date and time stamp. It comes up for the White Sox. So that is this little strip of cards right here coming up for the Chicago White Sox. I'm going to try to, oh, well, I made kind of a mess getting into that one, didn't I? A little bit, but that's okay. I'll put it in something or attach it to another piece of cardboard. We'll do something to make sure that it gets to you safely, but I'm going to write on the outside of this sleeve so that I know that one goes to the White Sox. We know the other one goes to the Cubs because they had 2 of the 3 teams. Our other buybacks, our other box toppers were all these 1969 buybacks. Once again, all with varying degrees of love shown on them. I had somebody get one of those once who didn't realize they were actually 1969 buybacks, and they were like upset because it was not minty mint and perfect. So I try to remember to explain that now. Okay, so that is high number short print. So anything that is like that that's not action image variation, I'm just going to call it short print and go on. So that's action image. This is action image that I believe is an SSP, super short print, on Bartolo, I believe, for the Rangers. That is SP. That is color swap. SP, action image, SP, 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 color swap, SP, 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 action image, action image. Oh, back-to-back Brewers on that. I just noticed that. A Chrome to $9.99, Chrome $9.99, Chrome $9.99, Chrome $9.99. This is a black border paper. And, of course, remember, those are not numbered, but Topps did announce the print run of 50. So you know there's no more than 50 of that. And then we have a Todd Frazier Chrome Refractor, numbered to 569. Then we have a black border refractor for J.D. Martinez and the Red Sox. That one is numbered to 69. Our hits, we have the red ink Braves Max Fried, hand numbered to 69. J.D. Davis and the Astros, and Anthony Banda and the Diamondbacks. We have an Ozzie Albies relic clubhouse collection out for the Atlanta Braves. For the Red Sox, an Andrew Benintendi relic, and a numbered Franklin Barreto relic to 99 for the Oakland A's. So that's all of our breaks tonight. I will put up spreadsheet information here one more time for anybody who might have missed it. We'll take a look at anticipated shipping dates. We'll also take a look at what's coming up in the days ahead on eBay and otherwise. So if you missed any of that and you want to see it, we're about to get into it right now. So, of course, 2 different sets of breaks tonight, free shipping and paid shipping. The free shipping breaks, which were all of the jerseys and the baseball bat, projected to go out on or before Saturday. It will most likely be before Saturday, but I do generally project the free shipping about 6 or 7 days out and often get it out faster. The paid shipping break projected out on or before Thursday. That's Heritage High number that we just finished up. And of course, if you were in a break tonight and you didn't pull anything, so meaning your team wasn't pulled in memorabilia, or if you were in Heritage High Number, you didn't pull a single card, which I don't think is possible. I think every team pulled cards in Heritage High Number. But if you didn't pull something, you are entitled to a consolation card. That is just a random card for your team. It can be from any year. It can be from any series. Most of the time, if you're on one of the free shipping breaks, I just simply hold those until the next time you do have a package coming. So the next time you do hit a card, pull a card, pull memorabilia, whatever it may be, I gather up all of the consolation cards that you're due and send them out with that package. I do keep track of that for a rolling 90-day period. If you are in one of those free shipping breaks and you do not want to wait for your next package to go out and you want your consolation card sent right away, I can always just drop that in the mail in an envelope, plain envelope and a stamp. You only need to send me a message and let me know, and I'll take care of it. On paid shipping breaks, of course, your consolation would ship out with the rest of the break. So this is the stuff that's coming up listed on eBay for the next few nights here. Tomorrow night, we're going to do a half case of mini helmets, a Hit Parade triple play baseball box, a full case of National Treasures baseball, and a full case of Bowman Chrome. On Tuesday night, we're going to do a half case of baseball jerseys, a full case of high-tech baseball, Bowman high-tech, and another case of Bowman Chrome. Wednesday is a big new release day. We're going to start early at 9:30. We'll do a full case of Archive Signature Series Retired Players Edition, a full case of Impeccable Basketball, that's pretty high-end, a half case of Flawless Collegiate, and a full 16-box master case of Illusions Football. So that's 2 8-box inner cases that we're going to open, and there'll be 80 hits in total in that break. So it's a big one for Illusions on Wednesday night, and that's kind of a high-end product too, or mid-range anyway. A couple $1,000 for the case, maybe a little over. Thursday night, we'll open a half case of Leaf Autograph football jerseys. That'll be the start of a new case. We'll open more Flawless Collegiate, more Impeccable Basketball, and more Archive Signature Series. On Friday night, another half case of mini helmets, another Flawless Collegiate, a 4th National Treasures Baseball, and a 5th case of Bowman Chrome. So that's what we're looking like there in the days ahead. And then we're working on this. If I don't see some traction come in with this here in the next day or two, I may just bail on it and just do it all through eBay. But if you're interested in it, let me know. You can hit me up in chat, or you can send me a message to leaderofthepackbreaks@gmail.com. And what I'm working on there is a full case break as opposed to the half cases that I have listed on eBay. That would be a full case break of Flawless Collegiate Football. It's random teams, so, teams and owners would be randomized and then matched up before the start of the break, and that's how you would determine which team you get. I'm also going to throw in an autographed Saquon Barkley custom jersey. One team would get that by way of random. It's $85 a spot, or if you buy 3, $225. If you buy more than 3, we would stick with the $75 per team cost. That's all in with shipping costs included. Want to break it on release day, which is Wednesday the 3rd, but if we don't get it filled or it doesn't look like it's going to fill, as I said, I'll just go back and put it on eBay as half case breaks, and no problem. And of course, on that one, on the direct break, there aren't any consolation cards. So it's one if you pull nothing, you get nothing kind of thing. And it is a no return, no refund item. Last but not least, this is finally full, our Opulence Basketball break. If you are in this Opulence Basketball direct break, if you see your name there or your user ID there, and you're in this break, look for an email to show up from me sometime tonight or tomorrow. Just waiting on one final invoice to be paid, and when that has been paid, I will send out an email getting that break scheduled. So if you're in that, we're going to be breaking it pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that email, because you will want to be there live. It's a hits draft, so you're literally going to be able to choose the card you want based on your draft position. So that is one that if you're in it, you probably want to be there live. You don't want to miss it. So I think that's got me wrapped up for this evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I appreciate you spending part of your Sunday with me. We'll be back at it tomorrow night. So, hey, stop by and see me again. I'm always glad to have the company. So until next time, enjoy your week ahead. We'll be back tomorrow night. Bye now.